Hi everyone. Today we will talk about how to call MKMapView in iOS using React Native. So firstly, in this lesson, I will use a blind project of React Native, and we have app component. So the app component is in a very simple form. So we export this class app with the simple view inside the render function. Then in iOS, I click to the Xcode project, and inside this, I will create a new file for managing and switch to the React Native project. So I created a new file. I create a class, an Objective-C class to inherit from React View Manager, and this is named React Manager Map Manager for managing the MKMapView. Firstly, I must import the library to here. So we import the React Convert to convert from property and object from iOS to React Native. And in the implementation, I must map an UI view in Objective-C to view in React Native. So the first function is function view. The function view in here to map a view in React Native. So firstly, we must import MapKit library from here, and I initialize a map view object, and this object initialized from using MKMapView alloc init to initialize the object, and I return the map view to the UI view function, and this is a function for implement the view. So I jump to the definition, and we have various type of property. So we have a property zoom enable. Zoom enable is a very simple property because it has a value true or false. And if you want to export this to React Native, you have to use it to React Native. It is very simple. Use some script. So the script is used here is React export, and you go to the React export view property. So with the parameter name and type. The type here is a standard type, and the name here is the zoom level. Yes, the zoom level, zoom enable. The zoom enable property, and the type here is bool or true or false or boolean. And this is very simple because yes, standard. So open React Native and create a new MapView.js, and this MapView.js contains the component from MapView and ported from the Objective-C project. So like here, you import a module name require native component, and this I export. You can use export or use module or export to export the object MapView to using the React Native Map Manager, and the React Native Map Manager will be mapped to RNT map, and this object is the object MapView from the React Native from iOS, and you import MapView from the component to the app component. And inside the app component, you replace the view, the main view, to the map view, and style for this for full screen using flexible one. Flex one is full screen. So then you rerun the program again in here, and you remember to export module. You have to export module to as RNT Map Manager, then run the program again. Okay, and you see that there is an overview of a map show the default setting. The default setting here is in my country, Vietnam, and you can zoom in and zoom out because zoom enable is true for default. Yes, and in this case you need to change the value of zoom enable to false, mean disable zoom enable to see the effect. So after running the program again, run again, yes, and you can see that we have okay, you cannot zoom. Yes, okay, you cannot zoom because zoom enable is full or disable. Yes. So now I will tell you about more complex property in this case. So we open this and we have some property like type, like and dictionary, like class, object, and it is in some property of MKMapView here, and I want to translate it into React Native. For example, we have two type of struct in Objective-C, and I want to translate it to React Native. And how can I do this? We create a new category. A category is a class that extend from an existing class, but without inheritance. And we have a map kit extension. I extend the React convert with the name mapkit, mean React convert for mapkit. Yes. So the first function we want to use is a static method, convert dictionary to mapkit coordinate span. Yes. One is an dictionary or key value, and another is a type in Objective-C. So if we want to convert this property, you can use this function as this form. The input parameter here is JSON. JSON is an ID or any object, and you can have two function. These two functions will convert from an dictionary key value to type in Objective-C. So the first function in 12 line, you click to this, and in this case we will have two property name, latitude delta and latitude longitude delta. Okay, so you can convert this to React Native, and you through the function from JSON. Okay, because React Native only understands JSON. Yes, not understand NS dictionary, not understand collocation degree, etc. No, React Native does not know about this. And in this line, I convert the JSON from ID type to an dictionary. Yes, and the JSON here and dictionary, so you can access the properties in this like a key value form. So firstly, we have the value convert from JSON here, latitude delta, and the same for latitude longitude delta. And the return value here is now an dictionary, and you can convert this to by casting to mapkit coordinate span. Yes, and this is a casting. So what about the reason? What the reason here is how to get a property of mapkit coordinate region, and you can convert from JSON key value to mapkit coordinate region. Yes, and in the return function we return to what Firstly, a JSON call location coordinate to the JSON. So the second is you have to convert a span using the existing function span. Yes, convert the span to from JSON to mapkit coordinate span. Okay, so in this case you have casting to coordinate region. Okay, so this is type. So you import this function to the manager, React Native Map Manager, and we have a script named React Custom View Property. This script will convert the type, yes, a type of mapkit. So I convert the property region. The region is a property of mapkit MapView, and the type is coordinate region mapkit. Okay, so in this script you see that we have some of the parameter here. Is JSON is a parameter, the view is a parameter, and the default view is also a parameter. So we have a 3 parameter for this function. Yes, and you can use this inside by get the new region or the region for this by calling by calling the React convert from JSON, and otherwise if the JSON is null, you can get from the default view. Okay, so this is a new region that the map will show. Okay, so in mapkit here. Okay, so what about this? You can call a function. View here is a property, and view here is MapView, and you can call get region animated true. Okay, so this MapView will navigate to the will point to the region, the new region with animation. Okay, so this function will be called when you set the region or property in React Native. So in this code we have a new region object. So you can search for example, by my street Hanoi, Vietnam. This is my location, and you can check for the latitude and longitude, and you copy the latitude and longitude and paste to here. Then you copy the latitude, you copy the longitude and paste here, and we also have latitude data and longitude data to paste to here. So the latitude and the data is like a zoom level. The zoom level allows you to set it is more bigger or smaller. So add the property, the props to here using region, set to the new region object as a prop of map view. Okay, then after running the program again, yes, add. Okay, so you can see that it is my location. You can zoom in and zoom out. It is my location in Hanoi, Vietnam, in Hai Ba Trung Street district. Okay, so this is the end of my lesson today about how to code MapKit MapView of iOS using React Native. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.